What's up, y'all? Deeksview here, back with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about who we need to keep an eye on in the upcoming Senior Bowl in a few days. Without further ado, let's just jump right in. Each player I'm going to name where they're from, what position they play, and their official height and weight that they measured in at the Senior Bowl. Starting on the offensive line, Cody Mauch from North Dakota State is quickly becoming a fan favorite. I mean, the guy just looks like a bear, but he's on the national team as a guard slash tackle. They tried him at both positions. He looked a lot better at guard. He'll be wearing number 70. He measured in at 6'4", 305 pounds, so definitely want to keep an eye out on him. Then the talk of the town at line on the line, John Michael Schmitz from Minnesota, center. He's on the American team wearing number 74. He measured in at 6'3", 306 pounds. So far, head and shoulders has kind of been the best center in the Senior Bowl so far, and he's quickly establishing himself as the best center in the draft. I mean, last draft we saw a guy like Tyler Lindenbaum, who was projected as a day 2 pick, shot up all the way into a day 1 pick. That's kind of looking like what's happening with John Michael Schmitz. Next up is Olusegun Oluwademi from Michigan. He's a center. So if the Bears can't land John Michael Schmitz, but we can land Olusegun, I mean, he is really next up. He was pretty much dominating at practice as well. He's on the national team, again playing center, wearing number 55. He measured in at 6'2", 308 pounds. Definitely a guy you need to keep an eye on in the Senior Bowl. Moving on to skilled positions, we have Nathaniel Tank Dell, wide receiver from Houston. He's on the American team wearing number 2, measured in at 5'8", 163 pounds. Now, yes, he is an undersized wide receiver, but all throughout the Senior Bowl practice, the kid just gets open. And that's what wide receivers need to do in the NFL. Of course, you need to do things like block and so forth and so on, but if you're in the NFL and you can get open, you're going to be very valuable to an NFL team. So that's quickly becoming a fan favorite, kind of getting a little bit of a Tariq Cohen composition or comparison. Kind of like a slot receiver, not quite like a running back like Tariq Cohen, but as far as short, quick, elusive, that's Tank Dell. Then you got wide receiver Xavier Hutchinson out of Iowa State. On the American team, number 4. He's about 6'1", 207 pounds. I've heard him get compared to Christian Watson at Green Bay. Kind of like a more bigger body wide receiver type guy. He's been looking pretty good. Definitely need to keep an eye out on him for the Senior Bowl. Then moving over to running back, you got Tajay Spears, running back out of Tulane. He's on the American team wearing number 22. Stands at 5'9", 204 pounds. I mean, there was a clip of him running a route out of the backfield, just snatching the defender's ankles. He's a good multi-dimensional running back, getting a little bit of Tony Pollard comparisons, a little bit of Matt Forte-ish. I don't know if he has the same patience and vision as Matt Forte, but as far as being multi-dimensional, that's the realm you're looking at, especially with the whole Montgomery situation. That's somebody to keep an eye on. Moving on to defense, I think the best defender in the Senior Bowl so far, at least practice, has been Will McDonald, edge out of Iowa State. He's on the American team wearing number 9, measured in at 6'3", 241 pounds. He's been unblockable off the edge, and he's just been the straight up best defensive player in the Senior Bowl practices. So I think all eyes will be on him. Definitely a viable option a little bit later in the draft. Not because, the draft is really top heavy in defensive edges, more specifically. So as far as late first round, maybe early second round, but he might be, flying up draft boards. Next on the D-line, Adetomiwa Adebawor out of Northwestern. I'm not sure if I said that right. Adetomiwa Adebawor. Yeah, he's on the national team. He wears number 99. He measured in at 6'1", 284 pounds. He was okay off the edge, wasn't doing too bad, but they moved him to the inside and he started feasting. So realistically, I think in the NFL, that's your prototypical 3-tech. Then staying on the D-line, Gerard Clark defensive tackle out of Coastal Carolina. He is a big body, 6'3", 343 pounds. That's your hole stuffer. That's your classic D tackle who gets double teamed 1-on-1. I mean, you're not that he's too big to stop. He's on the national team wearing number 15. Last but certainly not least on my personal list of guys to keep an eye on, Ivan Pace Jr., linebacker out of Cincinnati. He's on the national team wearing number 11, measured in at 5'10", 231 pounds. He actually can pass rush. He was doing the pass rush drills and was feasting, honestly. But then they moved on to pass coverage, and man, he was amazing. He was all over running backs out of there, and if the Bears are looking to upgrade at the weak side linebacker position, or maybe even just develop and bring him in for competition, Ivan Pace is definitely a noteworthy guy to keep an eye on in the Senior Bowl and the upcoming draft. So I tried to make this one a quick one for you guys. If you're watching this before the Senior Bowl, go ahead and check out my video grading out the 2022 Bears draft class. And if you're watching this after the Senior Bowl, I'm going to make a video of my reaction. So when that video is up and running, it'll be right here for you to watch.